But what I find interesting about relationships, and it's not really relationship itself, is the people who give advice about relationships, the advice that I hear, advice that is offered. It is usually folks who are not even inside of what they are advising about. You don't hear me talking about marriage because I haven't been married. When I talk about it, it's like, you know, my thoughts and opinions, but it's not like I know what I'm talking about because I don't know from firsthand experience. And I think it's dangerous to listen to folks who haven't experienced it or been in such close vicinity to it that they can offer something that's useful. Like if you worked as a counselor for married people and you saw them all the time and you heard them talking and you heard the inside outs of their relationship, then yes, you are able to give some insight into marriage if you haven't been married because you've been with all these people who you've talked to and gotten, you know, insight into what it is. But what about the folks who haven't been married, or even they've been married and then got divorced because it didn't work out? But then they have all this the advice to give. But how can somebody advise me about having a good marriage if they haven't had one? I see that going on, and it's just something I'm just like, But I'm aware of it, and that's what being awakened is being aware, right? And so, um, that's what it is. And so, I hear a lot of men giving advice to women about being a woman, and it's like, what? And people who give advice about relationships, but they're single, but they haven't been married, and they've had not good relationships. Well, that is the exception to the rule. Because if you've had bad relationships, you can give some advice because you know what you did wrong, what went wrong, and then. But y'all see what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But then, putting a mirror up to myself, I have to say that I also do that because I want to share with you information that as I'm going, I'm no expert at some of the things that I talk about, and yet I want to share because that's the journey I'm on. And so I do get it to a point, but I'm more of trying to share with you as somebody that is experiencing it and sharing with you in real time about what I'm experiencing, what I'm learning, and stuff like that. So I think that's different. I think that's what teachers do, because if you want to be a teacher, you'll go through all that training and schooling and everything else. I mean, the regular way, the matrix way. Get that degree in hand, and then you get to school, and they'll tell you to teach whatever subject, no matter if you're good at the subject or not. So, and you will have some exposure to it, or have had some exposure to it, but you won't necessarily know it well, then you have to teach it. And so that's how I see it. That I'm trying to share as I go,